Breaking news out of Texas, where after almost 2 years, the Justice Department is finally releasing its report on the mass shooting in Uvalde. And the findings are a scathing rebuke of the police response. We are awaiting Attorney General Merrick Garland, who is expected to discuss the report any minute now. Meanwhile, Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles is in the newsroom to share what we know so far. Darla.
David, this report is nearly 600 pages, and the same word is repeated over and over again, the word failure. Now, this DOJ investigation is the most detailed account of the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, and it really zeroes in on the botched response by local law enforcement leadership that hundreds of officers were outside, geared up and ready to go inside, but they were told to waiting for 77 minutes while 19 students and 2 teachers were killed. Now, the report calls this an abject failure. Cascading failures of leadership, a series of shortcomings and failures. The word failure appearing dozens of times within this report. Members of the DOJ Review Board conducted more than 260 interviews with people from the more than 30 organizations involved in the May 2022 response. And gut-wrenching new details are included in this report. Perhaps the most heartbreaking that we've learned is that some families were initially told their children had survived the shooting when they had not. Others were notified of their children's death by personnel, quote, untrained in delivering such news. Now, the report outlines in great detail the quick arrival of law enforcement officers who then stopped at the sound of gunfire coming from a classroom. The report states that the officers should have instead pushed forward immediately and eliminated the threat. Instead, they treated it as a barricaded suspect situation, waiting in the hallway outside the classroom for nearly an hour. The report also details the confusion at the scene over who was in charge. Some investigators say it should have been Uvalde District Police Chief Pete Arredondo. Arredondo has said he did not consider himself to be the incident commander, and he was fired 3 months after the shooting. Now, yesterday, Attorney General Merrick Garland met with parents of the victims of the massacre ahead of the release of this report today. And afterwards, parents expressed relief that they're now one step closer to justice.
It's a step, so now I can go back and talk to Tess at the cemetery or at Robb and say, hey, Mia, you know what? We're moving in the right direction now. There's accountability. Justice is coming, but there's accountability now. The report is out. And people, the community here in Uvalde, they're gonna see.
Again, Attorney General Merrick Garland just started speaking a few moments ago about the release of this report today. We will monitor that press conference as we continue to comb through the nearly 600 pages of this scathing report, and we'll bring you more details and reaction as the afternoon progresses. Meantime, the Uvalde District Attorney has previously said that she will charge law enforcement officers in relation to their response if warranted. However, while this report is scathing, it is still unclear if any of the failures would be considered criminal that would lead to any charges. Again, David and Sandra, we are monitoring that press conference with Attorney General Merrick Garland, and we'll bring you the latest on ABC 7 NY and here in the newsroom.